If this boy had stayed silent for just 5 more seconds, every single person on that bus would have died. They ignored his warning. They laughed. And then the bridge began to break. But instead of running like everyone else, he ran toward the danger. The rain had been falling for hours. The river was already angry. Cracks were forming beneath the bridge, but no one wanted to see them. He had tried to warn them. The mechanic laughed. The officials waved him away. To them, he was just a quiet boy, too small, too afraid to matter. So when the bus rolled onto the bridge that afternoon, no one noticed the moment everything became irreversible. If you have ever wondered how courage is born, not in comfort but in fear, listen carefully, because bravery does not always arrive with muscles or weapons. Sometimes, it arrives as a decision made by someone the world has already dismissed. This is the story of Kelechi Okoro. In the southeastern corner of Nigeria, where red earth-stained sandals and palm trees leaned like tired elders, sat the town of Umuaka. Umuaka was the kind of place where everyone knew your name, your parents, and your failures. Kelechi Okoro was known for only one thing. He was quiet. Too quiet. At 16, he worked as a mechanic's assistant, sweeping floors, handing tools, and absorbing insults he never returned. "Boy, speak up," men shouted. "Is your mouth locked?" But Kelechi had learned early that silence was safer than noise. His father had been loud once. A union man, talker, a challenger. The night soldiers came for him. Kelechi was 9. By morning, his father was gone. By evening, silence moved into their home like a permanent guest. Kelechi learned something then. In some places, survival requires listening more than speaking. Umuaka had one lifeline, a narrow bridge that crossed the Aji River. That bridge connected farmers to markets, children to schools, and patients to the only clinic within miles. One rainy season, rumors began. The river was swelling. Cracks were forming beneath the bridge. Kelechi noticed first. Every morning on his way to the workshop, he paused and watched the water. It wasn't rising normally. It was angry. He told the mechanic, "Oga,
I saw it with
the bridge,
my own eyes
something is
just
wrong."
the other day.
The man laughed.
You won't believe
"That
what
bridge
happened
has
next."
survived worse than you, boy,"
That bridge has
Kelechi
survived
told a
worse than
teacher,
you, boy.
a council clerk, a police officer. They all waved him away. "You think you know more than engineers?" one said. The town trusted history more than observation, and history had never failed them before. The storm came on a Thursday, not suddenly, not dramatic, just relentless. Rain fell like it had something to prove. By afternoon, the river roared like an animal pulled from sleep. At 4:12 p.m., a bus full of traders approached the bridge. Women, children, bags of produce. Kelechi saw it from the workshop doorway. The bridge shuddered, just slightly. No one else noticed. Kelechi dropped his broom. "Stop!" he shouted, running. For the first time in his life, his voice cut the air. People turned. The bus slowed. The driver leaned out. "Get out of the road, boy!" Then, the ground beneath the bridge collapsed. Not fully, just enough. The front of the bus tilted dangerously. Screams tore through the rain. People panicked. Some ran forward. Others ran back. Most froze. Kelechi didn't run. He remembered his father's last words, spoken quietly before the soldiers arrived. "If fear ever tells you to move, ask yourself first,
move where?"
move where?" The bridge groaned. Water surged upward, swallowing the lower beams. If the bus shifted even an inch, it would slide into the river. The driver was shaking. Kelechi climbed onto the wet bridge surface. People shouted at him to come back. He ignored them. He crawled toward the bus, gripping broken concrete with bare hands. Rain blinded him. The river screamed beneath him. He reached the driver's window. "Turn off the engine," Kelechi shouted. "What?" the man cried. "Turn it off. Now." The engine died. Silence followed, heavy and terrifying. Then Kelechi shouted again. One person at a time. Slowly. "No pushing." No one argued. Something in his voice left no room for doubt. The first woman stepped out, shaking. Then a child. Then another. Kelechi positioned himself between the bus and the drop, guiding each person. When the bridge shifted again, panic returned. Kelechi raised his hand. "Look at me," he shouted. They did. I am here. You will cross. Something strange happened. The fear softened, because bravery is contagious. Men who had been standing helplessly ran forward to help. Someone formed a human chain. Someone else carried a crying child. In 15 minutes, everyone was off the bus. 30 seconds later, the bridge gave up. Concrete snapped. Metal screamed. The river claimed what remained. If anyone had still been on it, they would have died. Omuaka stood silent. Rain fell lighter now, embarrassed by what it had tried to do. The bus driver sat on the ground, shaking. A woman hugged Kelechi without asking. Then another. Then many more. The boy who never spoke had saved them all. By nightfall, videos had spread. Phones recorded what words could not. By morning, reporters arrived. By evening, government officials followed. They asked Kelechi questions. Why didn't you run? He thought for a long time before answering. Because I knew what would happen if no one stayed. Fame came fast. Too fast. Offers. Interviews. Promises. But something else came too. Threats. Anonymous warnings. Stop talking. Heroes don't live long here. Kelechi remembered his father. And he made another decision. He would leave. Not because he was afraid, but because wisdom sometimes means surviving long enough to matter. With the help of a journalist, Kelechi earned a scholarship. On that day of his departure, the villagers gathered to wave him goodbye. He left Nigeria quietly. No loud party. He studied civil engineering in the United States. He learned about bridges, stress loads, failure points. He learned the language of structures so he could speak for the ones that couldn't. While others chased money, Kelechi chased prevention. 10 years later, a new bridge opened in Umuaka. Stronger, wider, safer. People gathered. Children ran. The elders prayed. A tall man stood at the edge, unnoticed. Kelechi had come home. When they announced his name, the crowd went silent. Then thunder. Not from the sky, from applause. Kelechi spoke briefly. I did not save this town alone, he said. I only refused to leave when it mattered. Today, Kelechi works across rural Africa, designing infrastructure in places no one else wants to go. He trains local youth. He listens more than he speaks. And every bridge he builds carries a small inscription beneath the beams. Someone stood here, because bravery is not about being fearless. It is about being present. When everyone else chooses escape, courage is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not wait for permission. The world almost lost dozens of lives. Not because the danger was invisible, but because the warning came from someone people didn't respect. Kelechi didn't save those people because he was the strongest. He saved them because he chose responsibility over comfort, and presence over escape. Too often we are taught to stay quiet, to stay small, to wait for someone more important to act. But history does not move when everyone agrees. It moves when one person refuses to look away. So if you ever find yourself standing at the edge of a moment that matters, when fear tells you to step back, and silence feels safer, remember this: the difference between tragedy and survival is sometimes just one person who refuses to leave. If the story moved you, please leave a like and subscribe for more stories. If you were there that day, would you have run? Share your thoughts at comment section.